the sessions and be able to return and respond to those as well. So I can't say enough about the thoughtful work that goes into DELTA and their leaders, including some that are here today, Jackie and Nigel. Is anybody else here?
I saw Casey on.
Yep, Casey, cool. And so I just can't say enough about this team. The collaboration with DELTA over the last couple of years especially has just been really powerful. Most recently, we had the opportunity to collaborate around a really wonderful in-person session and DELTA fundraiser where Montserrat Garibe came and did a wonderful, really a symposium in some ways of sharing, a deep sharing of resources and passionate response to how we can protect our multilingual learners' rights and also think about the things that we do daily to the systemic changes that we make all along the way. So in light of that and making sure that we're incorporating this partnership throughout the conference, which we've done for years now, this Lunch and Learn is really dedicated to DELTA and the work that they are doing. So I will hand this over to my esteemed colleague, Jackie Wagner, and I am just so pleased and honored to be in the space with all of you.
Thank you, Melissa. And we really want to thank everyone, Maria and Carrie, for offering us a space, an opportunity to share what DELTA does with the participants. As Melissa said, I'm here. My name is Jackie Wager. I'm the president of DELTA. We also have with us Nigel Kaplan, who is our treasurer, and Casey Cashdollar, who is our secretary. Our vice president, Brennan Clark, will hopefully be joining us. He is in a lot of meetings today on top of the conference. So hopefully he got here?
He is here.
Yeah. Wonderful.
For a couple of minutes. Sorry, guys. Good to see everybody.
Good to see you.
Great. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. And we'll get started. Okay. All right, so this is really an opportunity to build bridges with colleagues across the state. And as I said, hopefully share what DELTA does and inspire people to be active and participate with our organization and the many opportunities that we are able to work on. Okay, so whoops. So what is DELTA? Our mission statement is the following. We are dedicated to advocating quality education for students of all ages who are learning English as an additional language. We support students, educators, families of MLLs. We offer graduation awards, seek equitable funding, and promote appropriate training for all educators who work with ELs, MLs, both mainstream and EL specialists. We have EL in our name because DML, we never changed our name when the state shifted to the MLL term. However, MLLs are who we support with this statement. Okay, our goals. I'm not going to read them word for word. Sometimes that drives me nuts when I'm in sessions and they're just reading off the screen. So I'll give you a moment to digest this. And I'm inspired by Andrea. I'm curious if anyone would like to put in the chat which one of these resonates the most with you? And I just don't know if I'll be able to see the chat with the format I'm looking at.
Yeah, if you hit chat, it should open up for you.
Okay.
but happy to jump in and kind of tell you what's being dropped.
Sure, that would be very helpful because I'm just seeing him. Okay.
See, 1, 2, 2, 1.
All right. If there's anything that really does resonate with you in addition to that, it's just good to know that these are the goals that we work toward, and yes, 1 and 2 are definitely things that we as educators want to celebrate and promote every single day. However, you will be able to learn about all 8 of our goals during the course of our this presentation. Okay, so this is a photo that was taken of, during the event on March 19th that Melissa shared. In the center, you see Montserrat Garabay, and you see Secretary Martin. We were really, it was such an amazing opportunity. From left to right, you see Nigel, Casey, Montserrat, and Secretary Martin, myself, and Brennan. So we are the current officers of our organization. We have an advisory council, and we are we have every 2 years we have elections. And this spring we will be holding our what would that be, biannual? Biannual elections. And we do have several offices that are going to be open, including the president, the vice president, and our secretary. So if you are interested in getting involved, there is lots of leadership opportunity. And as you will also see, there's many kinds of things that DELTA does that if it triggers your interest, we strongly encourage people to run for office. We are also looking to expand our advisory council and grow. Our executive board, our officers meet as regularly as needed. I would say probably about 3 or 4 times each semester of the school year. Our advisory council meets at least once before each of our general membership meetings. And we have 2 general membership meetings each year, one in the fall, typically November, and then one in the spring, which is typically late April or early May. So it's not something that you have to meet weekly or necessarily even monthly, but we do get together to work toward everything from fundraising to event planning and advocacy as well. Okay, so one of our key goals is recognition of graduating multilingual and former multilingual learners who are going to continue to further their education. And we do this with our spring announcements of the Amanda Sapp-Parisi Award. These are very special awards because, as we know, students who are learning English as an additional language and work so hard to graduate and get that diploma and then move on to continue their education in whatever capacity they're going to do. It's a huge accomplishment, and these students do deserve their recognition. So as you can see, we've named it the Amanda Sapp-Parisi Award after Amanda, who was a very dedicated and passionate member of DELTA and an ML teacher. And after she passed, our organization decided to name the awards in her honor. The window for application of this this year's graduation award is open, and it will be open until April 18th. This slide deck is going to have the links attached to it. So if you're interested in nominating a senior, all the information is in the link. And and you would still have time to nominate and then have the student apply for the award. With the award, we present it at our spring membership meeting. So it's presented on Zoom. We do meet because we are a statewide organization. We meet via Zoom. So our Vice President, Brennan, will present the awards virtually, and then we will be sending them to the nominating teacher, who will then make sure that the students are recognized at their school's specific honors assembly or awards assembly in the spring. With the certificate and the award, there is a check that we send to each student, each recipient. And the amount varies from year to year, depending on the results of our fundraising efforts. And it's that money the student can use for any purpose they need toward their education. So it really is very, very special. And it gives these students the recognition that they truly deserve in front of their entire school. Just so you have an idea, our fundraising has been pretty successful, and last year we were able to award $500 per recipient. So that was the most we had ever been able to give to graduates, and a lot of it has to do with our collaboration and fundraising that we did with the state during the conference last year. So our efforts we were able to share the successes of our fundraising with I believe it was 16 students across the state last year. So it was very exciting.
Before you go on, Jackie, just one more thing. We dropped a couple of links in the chat. One link is to the website for the page on Delta's website, where it has information about the Amanda Saparisi Award. And then the link above that I dropped in around 12:12 on the timestamp is the instructions for this year. So like Jackie said, we still have 9 days of our application window before it closes. So if anyone's interested in nominating a graduating MLL senior, there's still time, although the window is closing, so you might have to work a little expeditiously to get things in on time before that window closes. However, if there's extenuating circumstances, please email us and we will always consider things on a case-by-case basis. One thing that we'd also like to add is that Delta has given away $12,000 in these academic awards over the last 3 years. So a lot in part due to the fundraising, the efforts, and people joining our calls to support MLL advocacy and equity across the state. So a lot of money's been raised and distributed to our hardworking and deserving MLL seniors. So as you guys are on this call today, please consider attending our spring meeting and continuing to support our efforts throughout the state and what we do each and every day for our MLLs.
Thank you, Brennan. Oh, and before I go on, Brennan, as the vice president, he is head of the awards committee and does leads the evaluation of all the nominations to determine the recipients of the awards. So that's the main role of our vice president with the Delta organization. So if you have interest in something like that, you might want to consider running for our vice president officer position. So Delta's membership has its benefits, and we would love to generate more members. Our members can join. It's a yearly membership. It's $20 to join. We are a 501c3 organization, so your $20 membership is tax deductible, and it goes directly to our scholarship fund. We have extremely low overhead costs. In fact, one of our major costs is our website, and it was we're very grateful that it has recently this year was sponsored by paid for by corporate sponsorship. So it basically bought us an additional award, you know. So we have that amount that we can now give toward a recipient of our award. So our membership runs from throughout the school year, well, for the year of the school year. So if you join today, your membership is good until approximately the 1st of September. And then you would renew next year. If you are a member and you would like to nominate students, you may nominate as many students as you feel necessary. Non-members can nominate only one student. Okay, so we hope this is enticing and that you'll join us. Okay, so we have our upcoming meeting, as Brennan and I both mentioned. It's via Zoom this month, Wednesday, April 30th. And we are very excited that in addition to the presentation of our awards, our keynote speaker is going to be Secretary Martin. So this is very exciting. It just confirmed very recently. And she is delighted that she's going to get to speak to these seniors and to our membership. We ask and invite the students who will be receiving the awards and their families, if possible, to attend. And if they are so willing to perhaps say a few words or tell us where they're from or speak briefly, but sometimes they can be shy. But we do always encourage our recipients to definitely be present and hopefully share just a little bit about themselves with our membership during the meeting. So we hope you will be able to join us and see the presentation of the awards, perhaps participate in our run for an office or volunteer, show interest in volunteering, and hear, of course, Secretary Martin speak. Early in the morning, Maria was telling us about the Delaware Multilingual Showcase. DELTA plans on attending that event for a multitude of reasons, to share about our organization, but also to see the amazing things that are going on throughout our state. So as of, we just put this together. This is our invitation for our meeting. And this will also be available to everyone. Without the talents of Brennan and Nigel, I couldn't have made it as beautiful as it is, and included the QR codes because they are much more technically savvy than I am. So this is our invitation. We'll be sharing it via email. We will put it on our blog post. We will be pushing it out, and we encourage you and ask you to please share with others who might be interested in attending and learning more about DELTA. So we have different committees that you can see here. If you're tech savvy, we really would like to expand our website committee, and we'd like to update our website. It does need some improvement. So we are always encouraging people to join any of the committees, but website and public affairs, particularly our advocacy committees, we would really, really welcome if you're interested in participating in any way. The support would be fantastic. Our events subcommittee was very involved in planning the March 19th event with Montserrat Garaby and the secretary and the DOE. With advocacy, we are working very hard to support equitable funding as the funding system is considered. So with the PFAC, the Public Education Funding Commission, there are opportunities to support and speak to and learn about the considerations that are going into potential changes with the educational funding system in Delaware. Fundraising, membership nominating, awards, all the committees, we would love to have more people involved. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to any one of us. Some of the advocacy efforts that we've participated in, these are a few. You can see. We have done more than this. We've consolidated it to one slide instead of 6. So, but we very much want to, as an organization, want to partner and collaborate and support multilingual learners in our state. And that's been what the Delta has done before it was called Delta and before I was part of this fine organization. So recently this year, our fundraising mostly came from corporate sponsorship. Well, not exclusively, but all these corporate sponsors were involved in helping for us to partner with the DOE and hold the March 19th event. We've also applied for grants. We've been successful with the Walmart Foundation in getting some grant money. For the first time this year, we participated in Do More 24, and we're really hoping to expand on that for next year. Another idea that we've never done, but has been put out there that I think is brilliant would be a run, like a 5K. And so we've just kind of put that idea has been presented to us. We haven't done anything with it, but we were thinking of trying to create a fundraising event supporting multilingual learners and to raise money. So if you're a runner and an ML advocate, please let us know, and we'd love to have your ideas to potentially do that as a different and additional fundraiser for next year. Our partnership with Rodell, Rodell has been, we would like to work together with Rodell, and they've been very involved as well with all the advocacy, education, input that's going on with recommendations for the funding potential changes in our state. So this is our website and our email. And again, I just want to thank everybody. I do want to also open to Brennan, Nigel, Casey, or anyone else who's a advocacy committee member or member, if they'd like to say something and share your experience in participating with Delta, or if there's something I've missed, please don't hesitate to jump in. And I just want to thank Maria and Melissa and Carrie for this opportunity again to share about our organization. So thank you. So if anyone has any questions or comments, I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
I would just encourage everybody to join Delta, become involved. I think the more folks that are part of these type of organizations that allow for that collaboration and the community to be built around our students and families, the stronger we're going to be together. So please, if you're not familiar with Delta or you haven't been able to yet make it to a meeting, it's on Zoom. It's very doable. They meet twice a year, even if you can't be part of one of the other committees. Get involved and be part of the movement for all of us to continue to advance multilingual education in the state of Delaware. So urge you to do so.
Thank you. If anybody has any questions, please, you can put them in the chat or you can message one of us directly. Nigel, Casey, Brennan, is there anything I forgot?
Well, just one thing to say a huge thank you to Jackie for her leadership and for all the amazing work she does to keep Delta running. It's really appreciated. Everything's in the chat, nomination information, membership information. If you have any trouble with the website, with membership, please feel free to reach out to any one of us. And we'd love to see you on April 30th at our annual meeting. We've got amazing support from Secretary Martin. I believe this is the first time the Secretary of Education has spoken to Delta at our meeting. So, and she's only been here a few months. So this should be a very exciting opportunity to get everyone together and learn more what's going on and think more about what we can do collaboratively between ourselves, between the schools, institutes of higher education, and the state as well. So thanks for that. We hope to see you around. Let us know if you have questions.
Thank you, Nigel. I just thought of one other thing. If you do attend our meeting, our general business, we typically conduct the first half an hour with committee updates. We will hold our officer elections this year, and then we'll have a discussion of goals basically for the upcoming year. And then we have our awards presentation. So if that would ideally be at 7 o'clock. And then approximately 15 minutes later will be our keynote from Secretary Martin. And we will close out with DOE updates from Carrie. And so in a little over an hour, you will learn, participate, hear wonderful things. So we really hope to see many of you on the 30th. And please share this with colleagues.
I just wanted to quickly say, Jackie, thank you to Jackie, Nigel, Brennan, Casey, and Maria Carey, everybody that is, doing the hard work. But I quickly just wanted to say that the reason why I do what I do is because of our students. 1000%. I dropped on the chat an essay from last year. I took away sort of the name, but the students who write the essay do give us permission, by the way, to share the essays after the fact. So this is an essay from last DELTA Awards. And I just wanted to leave it with you. I have plenty more for those of us who want to get extra inspiration, but it is just wonderful to sort of learn about our students and what they have to go through to thrive and move on to greater and better things beyond high school. So it's just a tiny bit for you guys.
Wow, so nice. Student voice, right? Thank you for sharing. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Jackie. That was really powerful and amazing. All of you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for the work that you're doing to center multilingual learners and provide opportunities. I mean, that scholarship is amazing. And to think about all that you've raised over the last few years it's really an incredible feat, and one that we should all be supporting in many ways. So Artibel, you inspired us to think about ways that we can involve more student voice and thinking about what students' perspective is, and that's been something that Maria and Carrie have wanted to do along the way with the conference. So this is also a great opportunity to think about that and how we can engage that voice more often. So you may have heard, we're going to transition into our networking time now, and if you were here this morning and you heard Maria speak to the strategic plan, some of the great pieces that are in it are these core values and the way that the direction is so clearly set. It's really around how do you put these priorities into action. So what we would like to do is open up 4 breakout rooms, and in those breakout rooms, you'll select one. So you can select into your breakout room. And if you're going into room 1, you're going to be discussing priority 1, really advocating for the coherent policy and the systems and programming changes that we must take. If you enter into room 2, you're going to be discussing priority 2, building the capacity of all educators. You can reference all of the information that we just learned from Andrea Honingsfeld. You can also talk about, in room 3, developing a shared value around the value of multilingualism. And of course, in room 4, improving the daily experiences of multilingual learners, their families, and success. So we're going to open those rooms. We are going to, please make sure to introduce yourselves, where you're from, why this particular priority resonates with you. And we will put a message out with this slide snapshot, so you'll be able to reference that as well. But right now, take a moment to select either rooms 1, 2, 3, or 4. Make sure to introduce yourselves and talk about what draws you to that room. So breakout rooms should be popping up at the bottom of your screen. And if you scroll down underneath participants, you should see a pop-up, and it says 4 rooms. And then if you scroll down below the people and the people's names, pop into those rooms and introduce yourselves and talk about what brings you there. Great, people are popping into their rooms now.
How long will the breakout session be?
I'll call you back in 10 minutes.
Okay, and if we want to pop to a second one, we can come back and then join another one?
Absolutely.
How do we join the Both bedrooms?
Scroll, so do you see the people's names? Did it pop up for you?
No.
Okay, which one do you want to go to?
One, I guess.
Alt, okay.
Nothing is happening for me on this end.
No?
Nope.
If you look down on your bar, your control bar with the chat
Yeah.
and everything,
Mhm.
and then if you
Chat.
look, yeah, and just if you go all the way to the end, there should be one that says more, and it will have rooms.
Breakout rooms. I see
Breakout
4
room.
squares and it says breakout rooms.
And then you'll see a lot of names, and if you scroll down underneath those names, you can select rooms 1, 2, 3, or 4.
No, I'm pushing the button, the chat button, and nothing is popping up for me. I don't know what's wrong with my.
Oh, it does that sometimes.
Yeah, mine is not allowing me to.
Neither mine, Olinda, so I don't, I'm
Okay,
not able, I went all the way down, but it says only invite or mute me, it's nothing else in
okay,
there.
Carmen, what room would you like
I
to?
can go 1 of 4, put me in 4, and then
Okay,
I go back.
perfect.
Thank you, Melissa.
Okay, honey,
Can I be putting one?
absolutely. Margarita, was that you?
Number 4, please.
Margarita, did you want one? Or was that, who was asking for 4? Sorry, honey.
Lourdes.
Oh, Lourdes, okay.
Yes.
And did you say 4?
Yes, please.
Okay, perfecto.
Gracias.
I'm still not in, nothing pops up for me.
Okay,
One or 4, it's fine.
okay. All right, let's just make sure. Maybe I could see your last name on here. What's your last name?
Coverdale,
I got you.
okay.
And did you say 4?
1 or 4 is fine.
1 or 4? Okay, we'll do 1.
Okay.
Great, thank you. Oh, that's almost everybody.
There are a couple more folks on here that may have had to walk away, but if you're still on here, Cynthia, Johnny, Lisa, Mark, Margarita, Michelle, Ms. Teachy, please feel free to let us know where you'd like to go.
And I'm gonna pop into the rooms. To visit. Wonderful. Oh, it's always so great to connect with everyone in the virtual space, in the in-person space as well. This is great. All right, let me just take a moment here. So very powerfully, I was able to jump into most of the rooms. Just really one big takeaway from listening to the things that you're sharing about and connecting around and building bridges around is to think about not only these priorities as isolated singular things, but how do they all connect, right? Like, what are the ways that we're advocating for coherence at the same time we're building capacity? One can't exist without the other. So you're doing this work in different spaces and different places all the time, but as you dig into and continue to dig into the strategic plan, you have the opportunity to think really about how to make strategic, systemic decisions, right? I mean, that's a very powerful way of thinking about action, putting action behind these priorities for your students in Delaware. So that's a very exciting and thoughtful way to think about it. What was really interesting in popping through each of your rooms was to listen to the way that you were talking about systems, right? And systems change is so much different than just individual classroom change. One of the things we really wanted to highlight or remind you about is tomorrow morning at the opening session, we'll have Montserrat back to visit again, which is incredible. She's really just taken such a connection to your leaders in Delaware and all of you. So if you were there at the March 19th in-person convening with Montserrat Garibay, there's also a recording, which, by the way, we'll make sure that that's available to you too. We highly recommend watching the recording. It was a great conversation at different levels and grain size, right? We're all here to advocate, but like, how do we do that? So these are just a few of the resources that Montserrat shared. Of course, the 2015 Dear Colleague letter, which is very important, not the 2025 one, the 2015 one, the newcomer toolkit, the family toolkit, the DLI, these report playbooks of DLI were on the ground. They went to several different states, interviewed teachers, families, students, and put together this incredible DLI resource. All of these are available also on the Padlet. If you click the link, you can also get to the information, and we can put a link in here for that March 19th slide deck as well. Why are we sharing all of this? Because at the core of it, we have to right now think about the way we're positioned to support our multilingual learners and their families around their rights to education and how we can uphold and maintain high quality education for all learners, specifically for multilingual learners, as we navigate through the next several years and impacts. Luckily for Delaware, you have a fantastic leadership team at the DDOE. You also have amazing leadership at your office, at your government office as well. So thank you, Jackie. Participants in breakout room were interested in the PFEC information. The next meeting is Monday, April 14th via Zoom. And Jackie's put the link in there as well. Is there anything else you wanted to mention about that, Jackie?
No, PFEC is the Public Education Funding Commission. And so we had a conversation about programs and resources and whatnot, and I was just trying to encourage folks to attend to learn so that they can learn more about what's going on. And there is public comment opportunity at the end of each meeting. If you are interested in sharing your perspective, it's a 2-minute public comment speaking time for each person who wants to participate. So that's all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, you just have a few moments to take a little stretch break before our next sessions. Sessions are going to be starting again shortly. Carrie, I'm supposed to share one thing before we leave, and I want to make sure I do that.
Well, just like 55 tells us that we're going to be coming back at 1 o'clock. And just like Melissa said earlier, you want to make sure that you completely log out of this link and log back in to your individual sessions. So we're
Okay.
super excited. I think we have 7 or 8 sessions at the 1 o'clock time, and then even more this afternoon at 2:30.
That's right. And of course, we'll give a little shout out tomorrow. Keynote speaker, Francisco Villegas. He's just a fantastic leader and speaker and has a great story to tell, which is also very, very powerful. So lots to come tomorrow. Montserrat in the opening session, keynote, Francisco Villegas, and of course, the number of sessions that you have tomorrow, including 60 and 90-minute sessions. So thank you so much. Get a little stretch break, hydrate. Thank you for connecting today and building your bridges. See you back at your next sessions.